I'm gonna start digging them up. I mean it. I got a shovel and I got a whole graveyard here full of people that you guys care about, and I'm gonna start digging them up.
What's going on, guys? LoganJYA here, and we've got an updated Gravekeeper deck profile just for you. We've had a few comments requesting it recently, so I'm super happy to bring you this new list for October of 2021. It's still a great anti-meta option, and it kills against Drytron, Tri-Brigade, and a whole lot more. So be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and without further ado, let's get into the deck profile.
I'm gonna start digging them up.
Alright guys, LoganJYA here. We've got an updated Necrogoon deck profile for October 2021. This deck is still a amazing anti-meta pick, and I highly encourage you guys to enjoy it a little bit longer while we still got access to Dragoon before this man gets banned. So without further ado, let's hop into the deck profile. Alright guys, when we start this off, I want to remind you all, please smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and know that we've added some spicy techs into this build. Let me know what you think of them down below, if there's any other things you want to try out in your own Gravekeeper or Necro Valley Dragoon deck list. Anyway, starting things off, we play the triple Gravekeeper's Commandant. I finally finished the playset of all these. It took me forever, but we got it done. As you know, this search is Necro Valley. One Gravekeeper Headman. This one special summons out the Commandant from the graveyard, which instantly makes a Verte Anaconda, which summons your Dragoon. We also play the one copy of the Red Eyes Wyvern to go along with the Red Eyes Insight package, and the Dragoon package itself in the form of one Red Eyes and one Dark Magician. Now, the last monster we play is a bit of a tech card. You could totally cut this if you want to, but I wanted to try something spicy out, and it actually has come up in my testing with this deck. I'm playing one copy of Malefic Cyber End Dragon. For those of you who used to play Gravekeepers way back in the day of like 2013, the Malefics were a great tech option. Now, Skill Drain was at more than one copy, so it was even more broken at the time. But while you have Necro Valley on the field, they apply significant pressure. This is a free 4K summon from the hand, and it's only one additional monster we play in the main deck. He serves as an actual out to opponents' Dragoons and other problematic monsters. I think it's a fun thing that you guys can absolutely experiment with. Let me know what you guys think about this. Of course, if you want to cut it for more trap cards, you're more than able to. It also gives you one extra deck slot if you do that, but it's something fun to goof around. Move on to the spell lineup. Playing triple copies of the Necro Valley Throne, which searches out your Commandant or gives you an additional normal summon for a Gravekeeper's monster, both of which could come up, but more oftentimes than not, you're using this to search Commandant or Headman. From there, we're playing the triple copies of Necro Valley. Of course, this is your main card of the deck. It oppresses the opponent, cannot play out of the graveyard. It's so great, cannot banish. It stops so much, including Tri-Brigades, Drytron, a whole lot more. Dragon Link gets hurt by this card. It's a very oppressive card, and that's what makes this deck so good. To add to the oppression, we're actually also playing triple copies of Royal Tribute. For those of you who don't know what this card does, I highly encourage you to go look it up and read it right now, but I'm also going to tell you, each player discards all the monsters they have in their hand as long as you control Necro Valley. Period. It's absolutely insane. There's been multiple times where I will activate Necro Valley, activate Royal Tribute, the opponent immediately scoops the game. It steals game ones. It's absolutely insane. Not to mention, this plus Red Eyes Fusion is insane because it means you rip out the Ash Blossom in case they have it, guarantees that your Red Eyes Fusion will resolve. Now moving into the Dragoon package itself, we're playing triples of the Red Eyes Insight to search out your triple copies of Red Eyes Fusion. We want to get into this card ASAP, guys, ASAP. Dragoon is the main strategy here, right? So we're maxing out on the package, and we play so many different ways to get into it. Not only can we summon it off Fusion, we can also go Verte Dragoon, and we have consistency cards to make it happen even quicker. Moving on to the next cards, we are still playing triple copies of Pot of Prosperity to dig through the deck as fast as possible. This is a very spell-heavy deck, as you can see, so IO does kind of kill us, but in game one, who cares? We're absolutely annihilating them with cards like Pot of Prosperity. Absolutely insane, absolutely essential. Dig 6 cards deep into the deck, grab that Royal Tribute, grab that Red Eyes Fusion, grab that Necro Valley. Whatever you're missing, this card gets you to it. Absolutely phenomenal. Moving on from there, we're playing triple copies of the Forbidden Droplets. Yes, I finally finished the playset. Are you happy? Now we're playing triple droplets, okay guys? It's actually very important to have a reactive card. Sometimes there's things like the Revolt and the Shurag, which will absolutely obliterate you if you do not have the Necro Valley already face up on the field. So it's really good to have the droplet to stop that banish effect. It really can save your butt. So I really do encourage y'all to play the Forbidden Droplets. It is quite good. It also can facilitate OTKs, no joke. Red Eyes Fusion plus droplets sometimes can just be game. I kid you not. And also, it's an offensive card because you can set it in the back row and use it to negate your opponent's effects during their turn. So it's got a lot of applicableness in it. Give it a try. Trust, trust, trust. Next, we're going to move on to the new tech card. I'm playing one copy of Scapegoat, no joke. So you guys know that this is at one on the ban list, but it's an absolutely insane card, all right? So this is a relatively slower control deck, anti-meta deck, right? But seeing this card, not only does it let you summon a Dragoon, it also can help you facilitate into other extra deck monsters that are extremely strong. So you flip this up in your opponent's end phase, you get to summon Dragoon, you can also summon a Nightmare on top of that, or you can summon things like Boral Sword or Access Code Talker to clear away problems. It's absolutely insane. So this card is absolutely fun, cool. I highly encourage you guys to give it a try. It's something that I've been goofing around with, and I want to hear what y'all think about it. It just takes one slot in the main deck. If you see it, great. If you don't, you don't. Next cards, the one Terraforming, which is another copy of Necro Valley, or it's another copy of the Mystic Mine. We are playing the one of Mystic Mine in the main deck still. This card comes up all the time. It's another reactive going second card, or it can be another amazing card when you go first and you set it off of or you activate it off of the metaverse. Completely shut your opponent's turn down. Now that's it for the spell cards. As you can see, a fat stack of spell cards. Let's move on to the traps. Trap lineup is pretty similar to what we're used to. We're still playing Triple Solemn Strike, of course. It's one of the best counter traps in the game. Triple Torrential Tribute, because Torrential plus Strike is an FTK against most decks, especially combo decks. I'm playing one copy of Crackdown to round out the trap card lineup. It was a 39 card deck. I didn't want to play Upstart. I just wanted another trap card, so I threw in the Crackdown. If you cut the Malefic, you can actually put in a second copy of Crackdown, so it's not bad. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't play the Malefic cards, there's two slots you can put in. You can put in the second copy of Crackdown, and there's another thing in the extra deck that I'll point out when we get there. And finally, of course, we play the one of copy of Metaverse. It either becomes Necro Valley or Mystic Mine, whichever is more applicable in the situation. Now that's it for the main deck. 40 cards flat on the money. Let's go into the extra deck, and we can rock on from there. Starting things off, obviously, it's a Dragoon deck, it's Necrogoon, it's Gravekeeper Dragoon. We have to play Dragoon, of course. Let's enjoy him before he gets banned. Also playing the one of copy of Verite Anaconda. We're not playing X-Strap, so we don't need 3 and 3. Feels pretty good, right? Saves you on the wallet. I don't know if you guys remember this, go back and look at my older videos. I used to have 3 of each of these cards to play this stupid deck. Moving on from there, playing the one Link Karibo and the one Link Spider, because these are part of your plays with the Scapegoat if you see it. And the extra deck is not really that important. You can just banish this stuff off of your extra if you're not going to use it. There's also other cards in here that we can banish. Moving on from there, the Nightmare Cerberus and the Nightmare Phoenix, just spot removal, especially if you already have summoned your Dragoon, and you can use your Headman play to make one of these for additional removal. It's pretty good. The one Nightmare Unicorn for shuffling back, of course. The one Access Code Talker that you can climb into with your Scapegoat play, as well as the one copy of Boral Sword Dragon, which you can also climb into with your Scapegoat play. Boral Sword plus a normal summon Commandant with Necro Valley on the field is actually game. No joke. So that's it for the Link monsters. Moving on to the fusions, we're playing even more fusions. So obviously, since you saw the Malefic, we do play the one Cyber End Dragon in the extra deck. Oh, you can't even see the Mattel Rare. What a shame. But it is what it is. Trust. We play this, you banish it, you special summon Malefic Cyber End. It's pretty obvious. And we are playing side-decked Super Poly. So for that we have targets. We've got the Muddy Mud Dragon, we've got the El Shaddoll Winda, the El Shaddoll Shekanaga. These are the 2 Shaddolls we go with because we have both Dark Monsters and Earth Monsters in our deck, so it makes it even easier for us to Super Poly and actually apply more pressure. Moving on, we've got the Adagnister Earth Golem, and finally the Starving Venom Dragon. You could also, I wanted to point out that if you cut the Cyber End Dragon and the Malefic Cyber End from the main, the other 2 cards you can put into here would be either IP Masquerena for Scapegoat plays, or for a follow-up to your Headman play, or just things like that. IP Masquerena would be the slot I'd use, or you could use it for a Prank Kids fusion monster if you fear that deck as well. So Prank Kids can be a tricky matchup, but we actually have some pretty good cards against them. Like Necro Valley does hurt them significantly, hurts all of their ad backs, but they do have a relatively easy time removing it. It's a 50-50, it really is. But I just want to point that out. If you cut the Malefics, those are the other cards you can put in that slot. Now we'll finally wrap things up with the side deck. I'll go through this pretty quick. We've got the triple copies of Droll and Lockbird for when you're going second. You take out the Royal Tributes, you bring these in against matchups like Drytron or Dragon Link, the ones that it hurts the most. Following up from there, Spell and Trap removal, triple Cosmic Cyclone. We can't play Twin Twisters in this deck, unfortunately. We really can't afford the discard outlet. That's why I lean more towards the Cosmic Cyclone. That, and if we run into that pesky Eldritch matchup, it does apply more pressure in that particular situation, which can be tricky because Conquistador Pop Necro Valley makes you sad. And Eldritch Send Necro Valley, not a fun time. Moving on from there, the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for the blowouts against the back row decks. Pretty good overall. And then the triple Super Poly, as previously mentioned. It's another hard-going second card to help break boards. After that, we'll finish things up with the trap cards. We are doing triple Solemn Judgment now. I also finished this playset, pretty nice, right? So we've got triple Solemn Judgment for when you're going first. Just extra protection, extra layers of protection, extra layers of oppression. Don't let your opponent play. Don't let them blow you out. Flip up the Judgment, flip them the Bird. Pretty easy stuff. And then finally, the last 2 trap cards we're playing is 1 Soul Drain and then 1 Skill Drain. Now the Soul Drain, you're going to say like, okay, well, Necro Valley kind of already gets that job done, right? Yes and no. There's certain matchups that and certain things that Soul Drain stops that Necro Valley does not stop. So, for example, in the Tri-Brigade matchup, if you flip up the Soul Drain against them, it also cuts off their Nervals, their kits, anything like that cannot activate. You could definitely cut this for something else. The other thing is you can't really play an Imperial Order in this deck, but it's just another option to play. And the Skill Drain is in here for its fun interactions with the Malefic monster. If I actually, this is a bit of a carryover from the old version of this deck where I was playing a bigger Malefic package. It's also just a massive blowout. Obviously, it does turn off your Dragoon, but if you see this and not Dragoon, this helps you continue to play, and you can just put the game into a super simplified game state and continue to beat down with your Gravekeeper monsters. Anyway, guys, that is it for this version of Necrogoon for October 2021. There's obviously some things that I changed. Some things are good. Some things could probably be changed up a little bit too, but I want to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think of this list? Just please let me know in the comments. Leave a like. Comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and that's all I got, guys. LoganJYA signing off. Have a great day.
心の隙間埋め